Life.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. In this particular video, this woman, comes off very argumentative, very combative in trying to explain basically her points of view, and also in a way blaming men for her poor behavior. So I want to get into this, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this. Make sure you comment, like, and share the video. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I go live, and definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section, y'all. Let's get into the video. Here we go.
I agree with the fellas on this, and you as well. Only thing is, you got, like the fella said, y'all taking the word too literal, because I can tell you in a gentle way, and I can be like, yo, babe, let me train you to be the woman I love. But I still use the word train.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But just because I said soft,
he said it with a gentle voice.
Right.
It got to be at
it's
the right
way.
But the problem is that with women, it got to be the right temperature, the right day. The
stars got to.
Why is that a problem though?
The stars got to align.
Because in life, only men that's trying to keep a woman happy has to deal with that. I don't have to deal with the fact that you say I don't need a man.
You don't have to try to keep me happy if I'm happy.
I don't have to deal with I would have to deal with the part that when women say, oh, I love you, but I don't need a man. Women say that all the time. We got to understand that. And that stink as
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We hear that all the time. Oh, I do it for myself, and I did this by myself, and did. When you like, hold the I don't remember last time you paid all the bills by yourself, motherfucker. I was here. You get what I'm saying? But men have to sit here and continuously take that.
Right.
And we have to deal with the fact that we always got to be gentle, soft, respectful. And I'm not saying that that's a problem. What I'm saying is women are not seeing how they are approaching men.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right. Women don't want any accountability, no responsibility, no anything. All of the pressure is placed on the male species to deliver and show up like Jesus 100% of the time. A man is expected to show and go above and beyond what any woman would be willing to do. And they think that this is what it's supposed to be because they're women, and a man's supposed to cater to a woman and do all these things for her, and she doesn't have to show any type of reciprocation. I said this before, that's the problem. The expectations have always been put on the men to overperform, while the women could be just a bare minimum and it'd be okay. And in my opinion, women can speak on the bare minimum because that's all they offer. Most women don't want to go above and beyond for no man. But the expectation is always for the man to go above and beyond for women because women are women. And this is what most women have been accustomed to, because women have been looked at as these vulnerable, special creatures. And on top of that, they think, oh, because they have a vagina, that's a selling feature, which it probably is. But men are moving differently. Men don't just want to settle for the fact that you got a vagina and I got to risk my life, risk everything, pay for everything, do all of this with not an ounce of respect or reciprocation in the process. Men are tired because they realize their worth. They realize how much it takes for them to do this, and the women aren't showing up the way that they should. And that's just what it is. So it becomes a selfish, entitled thing because you expect a man just to do the most, and you don't think that you should have to do anything because you're a woman. That's a warped mentality, and that's not working in 2026. Let's continue.
Agree with you to a certain extent, because I literally was just in a relationship where I was having issues with understanding my partner because I felt like I wasn't taking the time to actually learn him as a person because I already knew how I was as a person, and I felt like the way I went through, same thing when we was talking about trauma and everything, what I went through and everything, I was really putting that into relationship. At the end of the day, I feel like I don't, as of right now as a woman, I don't feel like I have a problem with my man wanting me to do different and wanting to lead me. And you see, I like the words you're using. Yeah, maybe words have to do a big thing because we do take everything literal. We are emotional creatures. Yeah. So when you say a certain thing to us, it might not be a sting to y'all because y'all are men. But for us, if you say nice thing,
I think that the misconception of that, you guys think it doesn't bother us.
Well, exactly.
I'm telling you, as a man, when a woman says, I don't need a man, or I can do it on my own, those things are triggering to, in a sense, for a man, that's providing a lifestyle for
and I agree with
woman.
you.
But that
And
comes
women,
from the trauma of protecting yourself.
That is
men,
not no trauma.
That is
women not
it's
being,
protecting yourself.
No, it's not.
From being hurt.
I don't feel like it's
I'm
wrong.
speaking for me. I'm protecting myself from being hurt. If I'm saying I don't need you, if you feel like I need you, that's not the thing.
But see, that's
because I don't want you to think that. Like I want you, but I don't want to have to feel like I need you to a certain
No, that's
extent.
wrong. I think you need to
Maybe
accept
you feel
the fact,
that way.
No, we need to accept that we need each other.
No, it's true.
Right. And I think that's a hard thing for a lot of women because once again, it's a perception and a feeling that they have that a man is supposed to do all these things for them and they don't have to do anything. When you are with a man that is doing everything he can to make you happy and please you and do the things that you want, and because he loves you and he cares about you, want to be with you, and then you turn around and tell him you don't really need him and you with him because you want to be. That's an insult to everything that this man is pouring into the relationship. This is why I say a lot of women are very harsh. They don't want a man to tell them things straight up like a man because if it hurts their ego and it makes them feel small, but they easily do it to a man. They could talk to a man, tell him his penis is small and oh my God, he don't make enough money. And I mean, so many disrespectful things that I've heard women say, and they think they have no bones about it. And they'll say it again and they don't give a shit. This is what they say. But as soon as a man says something to them in a stern voice and not even cussing them out, not even disrespecting them, oh, it's the way you say it. If you use certain words, you can't use submissive. You can't use train. You can't use this. They losing their goddamn minds. But they could say anything they want to you and you're supposed to be able to take it. Remember, we're talking about a group of women who say a man needs to handle them. Oh my God. And that's what they mean. They are allowed to be just as disrespectful as they want to be, say whatever they want in any type of tone that they want. And it's supposed to be acceptable, but you got to tone what you say down to make it palatable for them. But they could just come back and talk to you any kind of way they want to, anytime they want to. That's not right. That's not fair. And men are sick of it. So no, it is disrespectful, in my opinion, to tell a man who is there for you and supportive of you and care about you that you don't need him. That's just crazy. That's crazy to me. It's about respect and love. If you say you love the person, then you should be able to respect them and you know be willing at least, because none of us are perfect, but be willing to work with the person and understand their perspective and just work on it. It shouldn't be that difficult. Let's continue.
And I was about to say that. I did say that earlier before the podcast started. I said men need women and women, but in the same token, I don't, because I do everything on my own. I do.
So does he. Like, you know.
I'm about to say that
because I speak from a woman perspective too. I agree with what you're saying. You feel me? Because I've been married, I've been divorced. I know how it is to have a man in your house and you play that role. I agree. You can't say you don't need someone, especially with the opposite sex. I feel like every man needs a woman, every woman's a man. That's why God made men and women. That was the point. We're supposed to be equal. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I feel like in this generation, women has had to do so much for ourselves that we got into this mentality of being like, oh, I don't need that because I had no choice. Mm-hmm. I had no choice but to do it for myself.
But y'all act like men are walking around. Men and women have to take care of themselves. If your parents you become an adult, your parents supposed to take care of you as a child. When you become an adult and you're able to work, go to college, whatever you got to do to take care of yourself, that is your responsibility for men and women. I don't understand why women walk around. You watch your mothers do it by herself. You watch your single mothers take care of herself. She didn't have a man. She had children, but she didn't have a man. She didn't have a husband. She just had children and she did it by herself. So what did you think was going to happen with you? You got to grow up as an adult and take care of yourself. I'm pretty sure they told you that. So I understand why women lead with that. When men have to take care of themselves too, ain't nobody sitting around taking care of a man. The whole point behind it is, if you understand how this works, you would be trying to get you a husband in your 20s so that you can build a family with someone and y'all build together, not that person doing all the work, but that you will have a companion and somebody to share life with. That's the whole point. A lot of these women were taught to be independent, strong women. You don't need a man. And then y'all crying that y'all have to do it by yourself. That was a choice that you had to make as a young person based off of the information that you were given. And a lot of our mothers and now even fathers have told their daughters, you don't need a man, take care of yourself, and this and that and that and the third. And then they go out and do it. And now I had to take care of myself. No, you were taught to do that. We know in our community, most women were not taught to get you a husband in college. If you're going to go to college, go find you a husband when you're young, so you can build a life with that man and have a family, and you can have support. And you don't have to do it all by yourself. But a lot of these women bought into the idea that they didn't need a man. They did it by themselves. Now they complaining about, oh, I had to do it all by myself. No, you didn't. You could have made a different choice to have a companion to go through life with. That means that you have support. That if both of y'all working and you sick on your job, you can go home and relax because your husband has your back because he has money too. It's not all contingent upon you. And this is what they complain about. I had to do it all by myself. I got to pay all my bills. I got to do all this. But the reality is you're looking to get somebody who can pay them bills for you, because you don't want to pay that for a lifetime. You don't want to pay all your bills for the rest of your life. You would love to have a man to come in and pay them bills for you, because that's what they're asking for. They want a man to come in and pay the bills, take the load off them. But y'all waited too late. You waited too late. And now you're complaining about it, and now you're bitter, and you're trying to deflect and use every excuse to not accept the fact that y'all were given the wrong information and you waited too long, and now you just stuck there. So now you have to do it. Let's continue.
I feel like if it was maybe like men put in a little bit more effort, and I'm not saying just putting money in, and I'm not just saying just spending it out, but actually just being there, right, maybe we wouldn't have such a mentality of being like, I got this on my own, I'm used to it. Even though I'm not saying it's correct, and I'm not saying it's something that we should do, but it's something.
Yeah, but there are men doing that. They're typically married. And it's the men that women push back against. No, they're not going to just take care of a random woman. No, a lot of women don't prioritize marriage and relationships. They're just having sex and creating children in the midst of it. And that doesn't equal to a loving man who wants to be there with you and want to build with you. Y'all bypass the very things that would get you the outcomes that you want about, that you complain about now, or the things that you don't have. You bypass the steps and the order in which you would need to go in order to get the things that you don't have now. It would be nice for the men to be, the men who are accountable and the men who are stepping up and handling their responsibilities, they have wives, and they're there for their wives, and they're supportive of their wives, and they don't have, that ain't an issue for those women. But the women who chose to, go in a different way, now they're sitting here complaining about men when you didn't prioritize husbands and understood how to make relationships working and put enough effort into understanding men as much as you want them to understand you. And now it's coming at a cost. This is the outcome of that. Nobody never taught us. Once again, it goes back to how we as women were not taught how to show up for men. We were not taught what we need to do for men. We were not taught how to understand men. If anything, we were taught how to dismiss men, how to not listen to them, how to not even care what they had to say because they were irrelevant. And you listen to the women in your families, the matriarch, and it's got y'all to this place because you never paid attention to men, but you wanted them to provide and protect, but you never really cared about their opinions, what they had to say, or anything. So now fast forward, you didn't listen, you didn't care. Men were afterthoughts, but you would sleep with them. And now you want men to be supportive and all these things, and men are saying hell to the no. We don't need y'all. We can do bad all by ourselves. Actually, we can do good by ourselves. Actually, we can do better by ourselves because we're not giving y'all all our money. We can save and build and invest and still have a place to stay. Men are not as superficial as women, so they're not spending money on wigs as much and weaves and makeup and clothes and shoes. They actually do much better by themselves. The minute men get with women, now their money starts to dwindle because now you got to take care of a woman, and women are expensive. So I would say men actually do better by themselves. And y'all know I don't condone and push this individuality type thing. I love couples. I love for people to come together and build together. But if I could love it all day, if they don't want it, then that's just what it's going to be. But let's continue.
That we had to learn to have to do, that now we are stuck in this type of mentality of I have to do this, I need to do this, and it's like almost like for the men that don't have to do that.
They don't like strong women.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Oh, you're trying to be a man. Like I'm not trying to be a woman.
I don't feel that. I don't agree with that. I don't feel like men don't like strong women.
Most men don't.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't feel that way, that's amazing. But there's some men that are intimidated by strong women.
Most men aren't.
No, I don't feel that way.
You
I feel
can
like
only speak for yourself though, because somebody else, you can't speak for another man.
And so who are you speaking for then?
Myself.
Okay, so then you can only speak for yourself.
That's what I said.
Okay, so then, but you can't say most men like
intimidated. Most of the men I've dealt with were intimidated by me. That's what I'm saying.
That's what you should.
And that's what I just said.
Okay.
I worded it and said it again. Most men that I've dated are intimidated by my strong will. I don't feel that way. It's been known. It's been known. We're not together. Clearly, I'm not with them. They've been intimidated by who I am.
Multiple reasons. You could just be an unpleasant partner. It's not.
I'm a great partner. I know I'm a great partner.
It's nothing to do with your.
I know myself.
You're a great partner. Look, you said you know yourself.
I know myself. I'm a great partner.
But look, this is a problem that most women don't understand.
I know that.
The problem, you can make yourself happy. Doesn't mean you make a man happy.
Necessarily, you're right. And that's why I say I could just be by myself and I don't need a man, because I do make myself happy.
You are look.
I do.
I want you to understand.
But if you're going to be by yourself and you make yourself happy, how could you then turn around and say that you're a great partner? Oh my God. And the only reason you're not with those men is because they were intimidated by you. You got to ask yourself, what does a man get out of being intimidated by a woman? What does he get out of that? Men are solution-based. Men try to fix problems. What does he get out of being intimidated by a woman? You know, it's usually the attitude that comes with these women, because these women think that, you know, they are everything in 10 bags of chips. It's their entitlements and their attitudes that make them think that. And they want to believe that because it makes them feel good about themselves to know, oh, this man is intimidated by my success. I must be doing something right. I must be so great for him to be intimidated. It boosts their ego to make them feel good about themselves, because deep down they really don't, you know? And the reason why women always say, well, I'll say part of the reason I believe that women say they don't need a man is because they feel like being with a man, or, you know, catering to a man, or looking up to a man, or respecting a man, or letting a man lead diminishes their value, because they want to be equal to a man. So in order for them to be equal to a man, they can't want to be with a man or be less than in their minds. They can't be under a man. They can't let a man lead because it diminishes them, and they're following a man when they want a man to follow them, basically. A lot of these independent women who say they have to take care of themselves all their lives, they feel superior to men. They want men to follow their lead. They don't really want to listen to a man. They don't want to hear what a man has to say. They want to do their own thing, and they want you to follow. And that's when men refuse to do that, they have problems. Let's continue.
What you're saying is the evidence to the problem. You keep saying that a man.
It's no problem. See, that's the problem, that you want to make it a problem. I think that's the problem. You want to make it a problem.
You one of those that don't listen.
Can I say something?
I don't.
You one of those that don't listen.
I don't.
I'm telling you.
I don't.
And you think that's good for?
Let me say.
I didn't say it was.
This is my girl.
Did I say it was good for a relationship?
This is my girl.
See, y'all just putting stuff in my mouth. I never said it was good for a relationship.
But at the end of the day, like when we was explaining about sisters, me and her have two different ways of thinking. You feel me?
Right.
I don't agree with what she's saying. I do feel like I need a man in my life, because at the end of the day, I'm a mother. We do have different feelings,
right?
You feel me? Even though I've been through horrible relationships, I've been through cheating on me. I've been through dealing with the single motherhood. I've been through having to do things on my own. I still feel like I would love a man to have to take off that weight for me, so I don't have to want to do it. So for me, like I wouldn't even tell. Like I feel like I look at love different. I wouldn't tell a man like I got this. I could do it on my own, because at the end of the day, I don't want to. I had to. That doesn't mean I want to.
Like
if a man could want to do that for me, that'd be great. But the problem is for me,
runs right over you.
I feel like once I start putting that in there, that hey, I need this, I would like this, men start to switch it up for me, and the fact that I'm using them, or you just want me for this, or you just need me for this. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's equal. If I'm helping you in being a man and having you take the leadership in doing that, I need that shit back. But if you coming into my life as a man and you want to take that step, I need that done. And if you can't help me with the same thing as a man, then what the are we doing here? So it's like I get what you're saying. Of course, I get that mentality. I don't need it,
you, right?
But of course, I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel like I don't have to need a man. I want a to have to need me the same way I want them. I want to want me the same way I want them. But it's hard when it comes to this generation, because everybody has a different mentality of trying to do for themselves. I got this. Even with men too.
It seems like
I got this. I can do this, and it's like it gets to a point where it's like I'm gonna have to do this by myself. Not saying that I don't feel happy. Like I'm disagree with you for that. I don't feel great. I'm used to. I got used to being by myself. That I'm okay with it.
But I'm happier by myself. But when I'm with a man, I just feel like they always like try to take that away from me, my happiness.
Yeah,
like,
you're speaking of trauma, and I think what happens, we had a lot of women on this couch.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of conversations with women. Yeah. And the women that keep trying to convince the world that they're strong and a man can't handle them, we're having a conversation. No, it's not that you're just unpleasant. You don't have a pleasant personality. You don't listen.
I have a pleasant personality.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying the women that keep saying a man can't handle me because I'm strong. No, you're just unpleasant. You're not good to be around. You don't make for a good partner, and you're trying to disguise it behind, I'm just a strong woman. That's why he can. No, you're just unpleasant, and nobody wants to be in a relationship. You don't know how to make a successful relationship last. You think the relationship is all about you, yourself.
You know what they call that?
But that's what that's what it gets.
I feel like it's also just putting, title and entitlement against each other, because this is why it's beef, because everybody's always putting something above it, like, oh, let's make it this. She's a strong, independent woman. Like, but think about it. We always had to be strong. That's what men put us in. Like, you gotta be strong in order to. If you this, you gotta be strong.
Can I ask you one question?
You gotta be strong.
If woman was told they have to be strong,
yes,
what would that man have to be? Because he would have to be stronger to
absolutely
respect from that person, right?
Absolutely, sure.
Who told you that?
I'm not saying nobody told me in general, but just this world. This world full of not just men.
You said men.
I said this world, not just men. Well, why did you ask me then?
That's all I'm asking though. So I want to know who's these men that told you that.
You answered the question.
And you said, wait, and then you said nobody.
No, what I said, nobody. I'm saying nobody specifically told me that. That's what I said.
But you blame men in the beginning.
But I'm saying men, men are the thing. No, men always say that women have to be strong. Women have to be strong.
They don't. That's quite the opposite. I've never heard no man say, oh, women gotta be strong. They say, no, y'all, they speak the opposite. Y'all are masculine and want to be like a man, and you gotta be this strong, entitled, independent woman. They know, man. Men aren't out here telling women that's your mamas. Your mamas and your grandmamas told you, don't depend on no man. Go get your education and then take care of yourself. I know I heard it from mamas, and it's the matriarch in the house, in the family tells you, oh, you don't need a man. You could don't depend on a man. That's how they say it. Don't depend on a man. That's the same thing as being strong and independent, because if you're gonna depend on a man, you gotta be strong and independent and take care of yourself. So that's what they said. I never heard a man say that. Let's continue.
When we have a man and they feel like they don't have to put in no effort, we get into a mentality of, I got it, I can do it on my own. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's not what it is. It's supposed to be equal.
Hold on, can I fix that for you? Because there's good men out here that make sure you don't do it by yourself.
Yeah, right? Agree.
And I'm a living, breathing one of them. So you know what I'm saying? So, because I hear women say this individualism where they bring up, oh, I had to do this all by myself, right? Don't men have to do it by themselves?
Yes.
So what the is the difference when y'all got to do it by yourself and we got to do it by ourselves?
Everybody got to be an adult, but some reason women, I got to be an adult. I do it by myself.
This goes back in the day. Because when we talking about your mother, your grandparents, men has always been the responsible provider. That has always been that. So in our head, and from back in the day, men has always been the one that has to do it. So the fact that we have
it's harder.
Now the fact that we now actually have to do it, of course we're gonna complain and be like, we gotta do it on our own.
Used to going through what men went through.
Of course, I agree with you 100%.
Used to going through what men go through with women.
Listen. Our situation start, and I'm not discrediting a woman's journey or anything like that. But as a young man, I had to become a provider, not only for myself, but for my mother.
Yeah, for your
You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying young women didn't have to put money into the house, but as young ladies are not forced to put money into the house and be the man.
It's true.
I had to live up to be. I had to live up to be what my daddy wasn't, because he wasn't. Right. A woman is gonna tell a woman, don't do this and you don't need this, girl. Y'all hearing that shit. We living it. I'm not disrespecting or discrediting what a woman's journey is, but they don't look at both sides of the fence.
Right.
And men are going through that same. You could be raised by a single woman, and then you know what? A motherfucking nigga.
And the same thing you're going through, same thing with me.
Raised without a mother.
I had my father in my life growing up for a little while, but I wasn't really like, I feel like that type of thing, that fatherly love, I didn't get. So I do kind of like, when I do have a man, I'm not looking for him to be my dad, but I am looking for him to just be a good man. You know, I'm looking for him to, you know, also just be that one for me.
You had your mother in your life?
Yes, my mother's been in my life all my life. So I'm used to just being raised by a strong woman.
That's
why I do strong woman all the time. I'm not trying to purposely be like, oh, I'm a strong woman.
I had my father and I had my mother.
It's different.
I'm just trying to explain what the I've been through. And if you can't take that, then you can't take that. But that's just what I've been through.
Nobody not saying that you're doing it purposely.
I feel like
I'm saying
it's
a trauma that you. It's a trauma that you.
And we know that. I know that it's a trauma.
But that you heal. You have to heal from.
And I am healing. I never said I wasn't healing. I am healing as a person. You don't be around me every day.
But when you sit there and say that men are intimidated by strong women,
they are.
They not.
Look at the trauma you dealing with.
You dealing with trauma.
You to come in here and deal with that because he don't want to deal with it. Now he can't handle a strong woman.
I don't
a lot of the women that say they strong women are women.
I don't go up to nobody and say, yo, you gotta deal with me because I'm strong.
Not that you got.
I don't go to no man and say that a man approaches me. He wants to get to know me.
Listen to comprehend.
You're not saying that you're forcing it on him. You're saying that you're forcing the trauma on him.
I'm not.
You are.
How?
We see it here. Like, you know what I mean? We see it here.
How am I forcing trauma if I'm not asking nobody to be with me?
Hear me out.
I'm not asking you to.
Yeah, you don't have to ask if a man is interested in you and y'all talking or whatever, your trauma is going to come out. Any relationship that you get into, that's going to reveal itself. It happens to a lot of us. A lot of people. She's not the only one. A lot of men and women have gone through childhood trauma, things that they have not completely resolved, and it tends to show up in the people that are closest around you. And if you are in a relationship with the person, your friends, whatever type of relationship, typically those people get to see that trauma, come out, if they get to experience that. But if you either are unaware of it, you don't recognize that it is that, you think it's the other person, or if you do recognize that it's there, but you don't do anything to heal from it, it's going to always be a problem. Here's the reason why so many women or so many people who, I'll say people, because it's not just women that go through that. But so many people are by themselves because they've alienated other folks who had to witness their trauma and had to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that because now you disturb their peace. You disturb their mentality. And most people, if they're trying to better themselves and get to a better place mentally, they don't want to have to deal with the person who hasn't, healed from their trauma and stuff. And a lot of times people don't recognize it. And then those be the very ones in many cases that think that they're perfect and think that they don't have any issues, but they do. And then wonder why their relationships always fail because they have issues that they have not dealt with. Let's continue.
You said that you didn't have a father figure in your life.
I didn't, but what I'm saying is I never went to somebody and say, hey, be with me with my trauma.
You don't have to say
dating
that.
somebody.
That's a part of you.
It is.
So you didn't have your father in your life, right?
Yes.
What healing have you done to reconcile the fact that you didn't have that father figure in your life?
I've done all the healing. I don't worry about that. I'm not going to sit there
That's not healing.
I've done all the healing.
That's not healing.
That is healing.
That's not healing.
I'm not worrying about it.
I counsel all the time. I go to therapy. I'm talking to somebody about it. I let it out. I don't hold on to anything. I'm still happy. I walk around happy every day. I take care of myself. I do whatever I need to do for myself.
I ain't gonna lie, you seem very combative.
I am combative. I am.
It's not good for a healthy relationship. You know
but see, I'm not combative all the time. I'm combative when I'm trying to defend myself. That's it.
My dad raised me not as his daughter. He raised me as he was raising a boy. Okay. So the way he talked to me and the way he showed things about me was really different. It wasn't like he was trying to tell me things. It's almost like he wanted me to understand the male and the female perspective. So, when it comes to this whole thing that you're saying about I understand her part and I understand your part as well. You feel me? I feel like you can't just take what you're saying. I'm trying to explain it in a better way. You can't just take what you're saying as well. Because at the end of the day, it's you still didn't have the proper training that you need to even have this conversation.
You got to understand, if you didn't have a father growing up, then there are some deficits within you that you need to work on. I had them. I wasn't aware of all these things, but I became aware by being in my marriage. So all these things became apparent because, my husband also pointed it out. And I also realized, you know what? I need to work on these things. I have some unhealed trauma. I have some things I haven't resolved and I didn't know it was there. So I just think it's something a lot of women don't pay attention to, but they should. And it will help you in the end. That's all I'm saying. But listen, shout out to Daily Wrap Up Crew. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments below and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
DeeDeesReactions.